Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. The Team of the Year vote is out, but it ended up being a little bit anticlimactic yesterday because the Team of the Year lone nominee cards didn't end up being as special as we hoped they would be. However, as expected, but still, it's crazy to see, prices are crashing on the market, but this time on cheaper cards. And we'll talk about why this is happening and also why I think some parts of the market still have some potential to move up in the next couple of days. And speaking of the next couple of days, we have week 2 of this Time Warp promo starting tomorrow. And since Messi is in Team 1, Ronaldo's in Team 2. We've got the full team with leaked official stats that we are going to take a look at today. If you guys are excited for the video today, drop a thumbs up on it, hype the video, and subscribe if you're new. Now, yesterday's content on Wednesday was actually pretty thin. There was not a whole lot of content. The Team of the Year vote was the main content for sure. We had a Barca women's center back, Marta Torrejon SBC released. This was one of the leaked SBCs that we knew was coming this week. 3-star, 3-star, decent stats in terms of the defense and the physical with okay play styles. Luckily, this is a very cheap SBC as well. If you're trying to create some sort of like women's Barca team, an 84 and 85 rated squad, making this SBC come in at 31,000 coins. And again, I will say it every time, I'm glad these cheap SBCs are actually cheap and not 70 to 80k like some of them were in the last few weeks. The other SBC of note yesterday was the 87 plus 1 of 3 campaign mix player pick. It's the same one that we had last week and even the same price. They just upped the rating from an 86 to an 87. And this is like maybe a fun little gamble you could do right now amidst the pack save that most of us are doing in this game. It's only 59,000 coins to do. And once again, I will say, if you invested in Informs, if you invested in fodder, continue to lazy list it. I think Informs now are approaching 15,000 coins. Yeah, they're 14.5. And the only way I can see them going today is up a little bit because still the 85 times 2s and the 82 times 10s are requiring us to put Informs into SBCs each and every day, and nobody wants to leave packs on the table and uncompleted in terms of SBCs before Team of the Year. So I still think fodder is a good hold, even with the rewards today being on Thursday. I think that fodder can still go up almost across all levels. Now, one more thing to mention about that player SBC, Marta Torrejon. A lot of people took this tweet yesterday from FIFA Trading Romania saying Visca as maybe a hint into the La Liga Player of the Month. Guys, we still, as of me recording this video right now, do not know what is happening with La Liga Player of the Month. And of course, since we had the Marta Torrejon, I don't think that tweet had anything to do with the Player of the Month. I think that was just something to do with the Marta Torrejon. Now, speaking of fodder, really quick, I want to look at the prices. 84s, they're up. If you got some of those at 700 to 750, list them for over 1K today, and hopefully you get some sales around content. 85s are 4,000 coins per card. 88s are still chilling around 10, 10.2, and the high-rated fodder is also just kind of chilling. But if we do get news about Mbappe being the POTM winner for La Liga, even if the award is not going to be given out, or the SBC is not going to be given out tomorrow, if it's not, if he is announced as the winner, I do believe those cards would hold their prices pretty well. Again, even if Lamine Yamal is the winner, those cards should still hold their prices a bit, but if it's Mbappe, I think they do continue to go up. So if you're holding for that, I think you keep on holding. Now, part of yesterday's content as well was the brand new Team of the Week, which is basically featuring the best card here, Due. He's extinct at 140,000 coins right now. If you pack this card, please sell him because he's not going to be extinct at 140k for forever. But EA has given him Finesse Plus here and a nice stat boost, or a very similar stat collection to his 87 rated card, but the Finesse Plus, of course, makes him very, very interesting, and he's just super rare because very few people are opening packs right now. He maybe will get supplied a little bit today with Rivals rewards, but definitely tomorrow on Friday, he'll get supplied a bit from Weekend League rewards. That's what you can expect per normal. Declan Rice, actually a solid card for him as a Intercept Plus CM CDM for an 89 rated card, and then Fermin with Incisive. I know we just had the Winter Wild cards for Fermin, but if you want to build an Evo with the Incisive Plus playstyle, you've got this new Fermin card there. So a decent Team of the Week, some fun cards in there. John McGinn with a lovely dynamic, but most of it is not that crazy for sure. The biggest content from yesterday was, of course, the Team of the Year vote. If you guys did not see this, I'll drop the link to the website down below in the description of the video. But This is, of course, the big content, right? Because we are starting to vote for our team of the year. The voting, I believe, is open for about a week, or maybe just under a week before it closes and EA start to tally all the votes or do whatever calculations they do to make us feel like we have some sort of say in the vote, which maybe we do a little bit, but they never really tell us the exact percentage, and it always just seems like, you know, whoever they want to get in will get in. We'll have to see. But of course, the website is up here with the vote for the men's and the women's team of the year. And then also the captain. But that's what we were curious about yesterday, right? You choose a captain, you pick a player to be your captain, but it doesn't tell you what the captain does, except that it's just going to lead the squad. And I'd have to imagine that the captain might be, by default, the Ballon d'Or winners. So Bonmati for the women's and Dembele for the men's. I could be wrong by that, but that is just what I'm thinking based on what we know here. We really didn't learn a whole lot of information from the vote on the website. It's pretty much cut and dry like every single year. You pick the players. You can save the image of the players that you've picked. It's the same 4-3-3 squad that was leaked that we talked about in yesterday's video. And again, still, the midfield is going to be the difficult part of this team of the year team. Honestly, it is, because there are players in here, many of them, that deserve to be in, but probably are not going to get in and may end up getting 12th man or team of the year honorable mention cards, just because, again, the way that EA kind of put together the midfield cards in this vote with some of the players who are normally in the attack in their actual teams in the midfield here. So that's my team of the year vote there. A lot of you guys have been sharing yours with me. It's a lot of opinions, but that's part of the fun. Now, the part that we were really looking forward to was in-game, the player picks, right? And of course, if you have not seen these, if you haven't logged in yet, just go to the store and they will appear for you. Their team of the year nominee player picks are all there. You have a bunch of them for the men's and for the women's. It is cool to see these player picks open up and to see so many players, but they were just a little disappointing, to be completely honest, when we were expecting like dynamic images, maybe a slight stats boost like a +1, and at least like a team of the year nominee card design. There was even a team of the year nominee card design that was added to the code that we looked at, and instead we have the gold cards, and that was just a bit disappointing. Maybe our expectations were set too high, but like that would have made this 10 times cooler, even if it was still gold Mbappe stats, a 91 Mbappe. But if it was a team of the year nominees design and maybe a dynamic image, that would be so much more cool. Instead, it's literally just the gold cards. And also with this, the EA said in game that these player picks were actually a vote, and that's a bit problematic. So we're voting through the game and through the website, because before it was just voting through the website. The issue that I have with voting through the game is people are incentivized when you can get a card and use it to pick the most meta players. Like, I think just about everybody packed Mbappe from the attacker player pick yesterday, and probably Ousmane Dembele as well, because if you plan to use either of these two guys, I mean, why wouldn't you? They're the most meta cards that you can pick. Same thing with even the midfielders, right? There's not as crazy ones in there, but for the women's side, you got Putellas and you got Bonmati, and Bonmati's one of the best center mids in the game that so many of the different pros use, you know. So I just think that's a bit of a flaw in the system if these player picks that we had in game actually do count for the vote, because always people gravitate towards the meta options. We've actually seen that before, if you guys remember, during the footies votes in the summertime of previous years in older FIFAs. Like, the most meta cards that they would give us would win the vote for the footies SBCs, because they were the cards that people would want to use in the meantime while it was a loan player before the actual SBC was going to come out for that player in the future. So that was kind of the issue that I have with that. I mean, all they had to do was give us a card design and some dynamic image, and that would have been sick. It would have been really, really sick. But still, since they gave out Mbappe's, they gave out Vinny Jr.'s, they gave out Putellas and Ousmane Dembele's yesterday, the impact of everybody having these players is, of course, what we expected. The market is cooked. Do we need to look at some footbin graphs, or have you seen it already? Take a look at Ousmane Dembele from 277,000 coins, which was down already, by the way. This guy was 300k, which is actually, that's not down enough, honestly. We had multiple days that we knew something was going to be coming and they were going to give us these cards, and he wasn't down that much. From 300k, I guess a couple weeks ago, 360, but from 277 yesterday all the way down to 199,000 coins was kind of his low point there. Of course, Mbappe was down to 1 million coins flat, and he was 1.5 1.6 mil just 4 or 5 days ago. Vinny Jr. went below 100K for the first time. He went from 150 down to 95,000 coins. But it makes sense, right? Who needs these cards tradable when EA has just given them out to you untradeable for the next week? Now, I want to show you this because these cards are not making super expensive cards like icons and heroes and 1 million coin plus cards drop on the market. They are making cheaper cards drop on the market, because if you had somebody like this Kevin Shada in your team, you don't need him anymore, because right now you've got this Usman, or you've got this Vinny Jr., or you've got Mbappe to put in your team instead. So the part of the market that we're seeing is actually dropping the most is the lower tier, like these sort of more recent lower tier meta players like this Kevin Shada card, Omar Marmoush from Winter Wild Cards as well, from 100,000 coins down to 82K. And for these cards, there's not going to be very much demand for the next week unless people are trying to invest in these sort of cheaper cards right now, or just try them out on their team. Like, you're going to have less of that even, because everybody has these loans cards at the moment. And a lot of people are asking me, Nate, when should I buy Mbappe? When should I buy Ousmane Dembele? Well, Mbappe has risen up a little bit in price, right? He's 1.05 mil because he was down to about 1 million coins flat. You can see his cheapest sale was about 990K. And then yesterday alone, he went from 1.2 down to 1 mil. I think there is an opportunity to invest, particularly in Mbappe, because he's most likely getting a team of the year. His card's going to be out of packs starting next week, and that would mean he would probably go up, even if he wins player of the month. Guys, I looked back at the graph last year. Mbappe Gold was out of packs for a team of the year, and he had the player of the month SBC last year in FC25, and his gold card still went up. So I think if you can get this Mbappe for 1 million coins or just under, I think that's a good price to be shooting for to put into your team because of this scenario with the gold loan cards that have been given out. But think about it, very few people need to buy this card for their actual team because everybody has him for free. And that's why I don't love really buying these cheaper cards in the market right now, and I don't feel like the market is going to be a really good and healthy market for the next couple of days, because again, most people have at least solid cards that they're going to be using in their team because they were just given out for free. Now, not everything do I think is going to be cooked though, because if you were watching the market yesterday, some people don't want to use the gold version of Bonmati or the gold version of Puteus because they've already been using that card, or that card's behind the kind of the curve, right? One thing you noticed yesterday, and this is the part of the market that I'm getting active in right now, and I think could be a place to make some quick coins. You gotta think about it like this, right? We're in the team of the year market crash, but maybe this is a little bit of an upwards blip on the radar for more expensive cards, because those people who want to play with bigger and better cards who have a lot more coins may go out and still buy a few players this weekend and then sell them off. And then, of course, we're going to have more panic and more price drops next week. But we already saw this take place yesterday. This Puteus is a card that's been dropping for the last couple of days. She was 1.6 mil on Saturday. She's gone all the way down to 1.2 mil. And on Wednesday, yesterday, she was 1.19. But after the vote dropped and people saw that it was just gold cards, it was not any stat boost off of the golds, and they were even just gold cards in general, she went up to like 1.3 mil. The same thing happened to Vitinha's special card here, the Joga Benito version as well. He went from 1 million coins all the way to 1.3. Now he's back down a little bit, but that just showed me that there was people out there that wanted to go out and still spend some coins and use some of the best versions of these players instead of just sticking with the gold card that EA had given out. So that's a good sign, in my opinion, for maybe some of the top tier, or at least like 500K plus more expensive cards that have been tanking in price for the last couple of days, right? We've seen all this panic. We've seen all these price drops. But when the panic ends, there's going to be a couple of bounce backs here or there. And of course, people are going to want to get maybe the best weekend league finish possible this weekend to try to get some good rewards to save for team of the year. So what's to say that a card maybe like this Rashford, of course, he's dropped off a lot, right? From 1.3 mil down to 1 mil flat. What's to say that he couldn't go back up to like 1.1 mil, kind of like he did on Tuesday, 1 mil flat up to 1.1 mil. Like that sort of fluctuation could happen again. And I'm kind of getting involved at the moment since I'm motivated to trade and motivated to make coins right now, trying to hit a 10 million coin goal for team of the year. We got to make 1 million coins this weekend and we'll go ahead and do it. These are the types of cards that I'm entertaining the idea of trading with. I know it seems crazy, right? We've been saying don't buy, don't buy. And I think the safest bet is to not buy. But I think if you're going to try to buy anything and make some flips, or even just try a card out for Weekend League, those more expensive cards could bounce back a little bit this weekend, but we're going to need to sell them this weekend as well. Maybe even tomorrow night on Friday night for the small little Weekend League bubble that we could have before prices crash even further next week. So if you're truly looking to buy cards for your team and you're looking for the lowest price possible, I think for all budgets, next week, middle of the week is going to be the way to go. We still have Team of the Year Evos, Team of the Year SBCs, Team of the Year players and icons, and all this news about the promo that we don't know yet still to be leaked. I think that's going to create more panic, and more people are going to be selling cards and less people are going to be buying next week. So I do think the market will go lower. Now, last thing about the market that we have to mention is EA is upgrading these Thunderstruck cards with incredible playstyles still, months after these have been released. And finally, the Saudi League cards getting their upgrades. Teo Hernandez got intercept playstyle yesterday, and all the left back roll pluses, and his card ballooned because of it. This also was probably aided by the fact that the loaned nominees yesterday weren't that fantastic. All the cards that got upgraded, so Teo Hernandez, Conte, Shalhanoglu, they exploded. We watched Teo Hernandez on stream go from 400,000 coins to max price 600K, and I was sitting there saying, sell, 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 because he's not going to stay at that price. He didn't. He dropped all the way back down to 400K. He's back up to 450, but honestly, I said it on the stream yesterday, these Thunderstruck cards have been the best live cards of the year, hands down. And we didn't like it that they were not getting stat boosts, but with playstyles and how, of course, important they are in this game, this has actually turned out to be the best set of live cards, because the playstyles that EA are giving them, they're giving them the best for the card, like literally every time. Shalhanoglu got intercept earlier. They gave him Tiki Taka. I think this is one of the best, if not the best midfielders in the game for less than 75,000 coins. He's got all passing playstyles except for whipped pass, intercept, and anticipate. It even has relentless first touch and technical. How many base playstyle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 base playstyles and a playstyle plus of pinged for Shalhanoglu with all the roll pluses. That is a crazy card. I'm not telling you to go invest in him because he's only 15K away from his max price. All I'm saying is some of these Thunderstruck cards have gotten fantastic upgrades, and with Conte, Teo, and Shalhanoglu yesterday, their price increases really show that. So that's kind of what I wanted to mention about the market today. I am getting active. If you don't want to risk it, though, and I want to reiterate that, if you don't want to risk it at all, then don't risk it at all, right? Just trade with rare cards. If you do, get on bids, get on snipes, and use footbin graphs. They're your friend. Watch for the fluctuations. And even maybe look back to last week and see which cards went up on Friday night and try to find some that could go up this Friday night, tomorrow night. Now, let's talk about tomorrow a little bit as well in this video, because we have Team 2 of the Time Warp promo coming out. Now, we knew some of these stats and we knew that some of these cards were leaked even over a week ago, like Ronaldo, but we do have the full team now with all the official stats. We're going to look at this today, and then we'll kind of reiterate it and go over it again tomorrow a little bit in the video just to prepare. But this team does have some interesting players in it. That's a crazy usable Van Basten with low driven first touch and 93 shooting with 89 dribbling. That Sawa card is going to be insane with Tiki Taka and price proven. Bobby Moore, only one playstyle plus, but that's a huge pace boost for him. Philip Lahm with 2 playstyles. Ronaldo has finesse shot as well. Finesse shot plus with 93 shooting. The flashback dynamic there is going to be crazy. You've got Williams, the Pharaoh Williams, the striker card. That's a decent looking card right there. You've got Kyle Walker right back, throwing it back to a fast-paced Kyle Walker. 90 pace quick step with 88 defending and physical. That might be the best right back in the game. That looks crazy. Jamie Vardy looks insane as well with 93 pace, 90 shooting. Joao Moutinho looks very good with Tiki Taka. Koke looks very good with tech. You've got Sissoko with Enforcer. That's a card I would love to get my hands on if possible. Casemiro as well. All 83 plus in every stat. Bruiser plus, 90 physical. That card looks pretty good. I think De Gea looks underwhelming, but De Gea is always cracked in game, so that'll be an interesting card to watch. Thomas Muller with pace, 90 passing and 90 shooting as well. Another special card for him, but a crazy one. Nedved looks good. Gutsa looks good. Into the middle tier cards here, there are a few interesting ones. Mark Bartra for Evos soon. Intercept plus with 87 defending and 85 pace is good. Pierre Lemelu, haven't seen him in a while. Kenny Lala Let's go. Rapid Plus maybe isn't the best, but good stats for him and only 87 rated there. Pascal Gross is getting in this team too. And then when you get towards the bottom, Tosin is in there. You've got Ivan Caballero, Espino, DeAndre Yedlin, Doucouré getting into this team as well with an Intercept Plus 87 CDM card. So, I mean, nothing crazy, right? Absolutely nothing crazy at all. I have not seen any player over 20,000 coins from this promo team of Time Warp Team 1. And of course, we're all in the mode of saving packs at the moment anyway. So the chances that we have to pack these cards is not very high. But, you know, it at least is there if you're going to try and maybe open a few packs here or there for those new promo cards tomorrow. We'll look at more Time Warp Team 2 news and content tomorrow because I bet we get a few more leaks today. The last thing I want to talk about in the video today on Thursday is the content, guys. Let's look at Kane Player of the Month, who is expected to be out today as an SBC. Big pace boost. Of course, I mentioned, and maybe some of you guys have this SBC card in your club still too, that Harry Kane is getting a Player of the Month SBC, and those are his official stats. This is a big pace boost over his first POTM, plus 8 pace, and of course the first POTM had the low driven. I hope this one has 4-star skill moves, and if it's a good price, and if he maybe has incisive instead of long ball, this could be a good SBC. I'm very curious to know the rest of the playstyles, but I'm probably not going to send my fodder into it right before Team of the Year. If Harry Kane does not get a Team of the Year or a Team of the Year honorable mentions, then I will probably do this SBC. But if he does get one of those cards, then I'll probably just try to pack him and chance that. This will be out for a long time too. So if you're trying to collect that, plenty of time, easily craftable during Team of the Year. That's expected today, as is the normal drop of marquee matchups and SBCs. And the last player SBC that's not been dropped yet from this list would be Dante. And I think that Dante actually looks like a pretty interesting card for an 85 rated card. He's going to fit some evos, I think, straight away as we get into the game today. So watch out for that one, as he could be maybe our daily SBC player. And other than that, not expecting too much else today on a normally slow Thursday of content. Though the one thing I do want to mention really quick is for the guys that are catching this video straight away, double check and swing through some of your reward evos here, like, you know, Cosmic Drift. Do I really want to put this on a card? Some of these, you know, card type changing and, you know, animation adjusting evos, I'm going to be skipping, but just check and make sure. Actually, would that look pretty sick on Luna? Yeah, that looks pretty sick. We'll add that to them. So, like, you know, add the ones that look interesting to you because these don't require games for most of them. But there are a lot of reward evos that are expiring. We've been highlighting this over the last couple of days, but this is once again just a reminder to go and do that. And then also check your roles evos soon, because these are going to be expiring, at least the first set of 5 with the center defensive mid position and the defender positions. Those are going to be expiring tomorrow, so make sure you go and check those there. I don't even have division rivals rewards this week, guys, for the second week in a row. I've focused on the gauntlet. We got those rewards. And, one other thing to focus on today is make sure you're getting your manager objectives done. I got to go play a couple more games of manager mode, because this stuff's going to refresh today for SP. Of course, SP is very important, as a lot of us are going through evolution chains, trying to boost up the different players. I'm doing a Brendan Aronson Evo, doing a Maradona Evo alongside of Hullet. So make sure you're checking out the SP section today, because that should be refreshing for the normal weekly stuff at Rivals Rewards and at content. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy it, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in a stream today on here, the YouTube chat, and the Twitch chat as well. Appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys, and I will see you in the stream today. It's been TheFutAccountant. Great Thursday. Peace.